disappointing end to a football game where I think our team did show a lot of fight and found a way to come back in the second half after we had a lapse there at the end of the first half. Took a lead. They got it back. Our defense stepped up and made another play to take the lead again. And then offensively, we weren't able to close out the game. And so that's disappointing. I thought we had our chances. They started to load the box, give us tight coverage across the board, and we just needed to make a few more contested plays. We had one catch that got overturned. It was disappointing. And then another kind of open corner out on third down that we just slightly underthrew it, and they were able to break it up. And you make those plays, the game's over. So a lot to learn from it. I thought our fans were out in full force. They were outstanding. Our student section was unbelievable. We're very thankful for them coming out and doing their part to help us win. So we apologize. We weren't able to get it done, and we got to learn from this and move forward.
Jeff, just talk about the debut of Charlie Jones, what he meant tonight.
Well, we had a feeling that Charlie would be a go-to guy. When we got him here, he's had a really good camp. He runs good routes. He understands football. He's got good hands. He's got a good chemistry with Hayden, and that showed up today. They made a lot of plays. They were able to complete short balls, deep balls, across the middle, across the field, and that was good to see. We just got to make sure we're developing all of our weapons and utilizing all and making sure we're having a little bit better balance to help us win.
What did you think of Aiden's play? Can you assess that for us?
Well, I thought he was pretty sharp. Made a lot of big plays in the throwing game. There were a few times in tight coverage where he was throwing it so quick that I don't know if we allowed him enough time to get open. So I can't tell if that was due to a lot of pressure or he just wanted to get out of his hand quick. But other than that, he threw a good football. He stood in the pocket. He made intermediate throws. He made deep throws. He made short throws. And once again, we have to, we kind of rode his arm a little bit more in the second half just to get some mojo going, and it helped to a certain degree. And then probably at the end, it put a little too much pressure on the passing game. So we got to figure out different ways to score points and make sure we're doing whatever that is.
What did you think of the play of your defense?
Well, I thought our times we played pretty well. We gave good effort. We were able to make some plays. They had a couple scrambles in the first half that he was able to buy time, and we weren't able to get to the quarterback, and they hit a long touchdown on one, and we were able to make a completion or two on the other. And then the second half we were better. We got after the quarterback better. We were able to make some stops, and then they got the long drive at the end of the game, which you'd like to not have that happen. But you know what? They were on the field quite a bit, and we weren't able to close it on offense, so that we didn't come through for them on offense.
Sticking with the defense, just the number of missed tackles, especially in the open field tonight, I know camp doesn't allow you to do the things that you want to do, but is that a byproduct of that or just guys not wrapping up?
Well, I'm going to have to look at it. I did notice too many missed tackles, so we're going to have to make sure we drill that more and look at ways to make sure it doesn't happen again. And I think they were in the open field. We weren't able to bring people down. Yes, we got to wrap up more. We've got to maybe tackle lower, and there's a lot to work on.
Understanding that they're in the fourth quarter, when you're trying to put the game away, you're seeing a look where they're probably taking away your run. But at what point do you need to trust your running game to try to get those yards and get the clock down?
Well, yeah, that's what we got to look at. I would look at it a few times, and there was just a lot of people up there. They were blitzing from all over. We had a couple negative plays in the running game, which hurt us. So that was in the back of my mind. And at the time, we had a bunch of one-on-one matchups. So we were going to ride our quarterback's arm and receivers, and we just weren't able to make enough plays at the very end. So yes, we need to find some other ways to move the ball.
Your defensive line, didn't get much pressure in the first half, but started to get it in the second half. Was that just the combination of your depth, or do you feel like you found a group there that was able to make some plays in the backfield?
Well, I don't know specifically about exactly the group that was in there at times. We rotated them. We were better in the second half. so we just got to go back and look at it. Maybe we were doing too many games, or maybe we just weren't getting the push we wanted. But I do think really the second half we were much better up front, and it's something to build on. But there were plenty of corrections to make.
It's just the opener. I get that, and you lost. But what's kind of your message to the team about the longevity of what you're in for this year?
Well, every loss hurts, and we had this one right where we wanted it, with a chance to seal the game with one more first down, and the game's over. And we weren't able to get that. So that's what is disappointing. That's what stings. I am proud of the fight they showed. You know what? We battled. We came back in the second half and battled. We didn't give in against a really good opponent with a lot of history and tradition. And we had a chance. We just didn't, quite get over the hump. So our message is we got a lot of season left to play. We knew that going into it. There's a lot to learn. Starts with me. I need to be better. We need to figure out ways to score more points and get more stops and not give up big plays. So that's what we got to really hone in on and make sure that the improvement is made.
There are a few costly turnovers on defense tonight. Could you talk about that impact on that game and how that impacted the final result?
Well, like I said, going in at the half when we fumbled a jet sweep, that we had a first down when we're in field goal range. So we're either going to get 3 points or a touchdown, and then they score. That was not a good way to end the half. Now, I was proud that we bounced back in the second half and came down and scored 2 touchdowns and took the lead. They took the lead back. We got an interception for a touchdown. So, I mean, that's a lot of good things that happened. And then we were not able to close the game. We got shut down in the fourth quarter on offense by a lot of tight coverage and not getting first downs. And that's something that will sting. But the game was right there for us to take. And like I said, when you have that great of a showing with your fans and student section, it hurts to not pull that one through.
Jeff, you averaged, I think, 4.5 penalties a game last year. What do you think was the problem today? Was it first game? I think you had about 10 or something like that.
Yeah, I think where's it at on this sheet? Oh, there it is. Yeah, we had more penalties, and we were really good at that last year. And we stress it, we talk about it, we work on it. And there were some costly penalties. I mean, we had a first down on either the last drive or second to last drive. They got negated with the chop block. I got to go back and look at it. I mean, a couple of them were silly. We had an illegal crackback, I think, got called on us one time. That put us back when we were getting close to a first down. So a combination of all those things hurt us. And yes, you have to try to win the turnover battle, and you definitely can't have that many penalties. So we got to get it cleaned up.
One play in particular I wanted to ask you about. You had 3rd and 1,000,000 on that one late drive, and you decided to pass the ball instead of running it and maybe forcing them to use a timeout or whatever. Will you go back and think about the clock management late in the game, or is it just your philosophy, let's get that first down and put this game away?
Well, we were able to move the ball a little bit, and like I said, had a first down call back. We had a play overturn that would have sealed the game, throwing the ball, and then we got open after that and missed a play. So we want to go down aggressive. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But we'll look at things and see if we can get better at that.
Back to Charlie. He said he's been at 3 colleges now, hasn't had a lot of statistics as far as the receiving game. It's been more return game. Why is he such a good fit for what you guys do that it looks like he's going to be a big-time weapon? Well, we throw the ball, and he wanted to go somewhere and showcase his talents and didn't think that was being used the right way. So, we welcomed him with open arms, and he's come in here and had a really good camp. And he's been able to showcase that. We'd like to continue to develop the other receivers and hope that they can balance this thing out a little bit and make sure that we're spreading the ball around. Brock has been nicked up and got nicked up in the game. That hurt us a little bit because he has a ton of experience. But no, Charlie is just is going to be a really good player here. We got to keep him healthy, and we got to make sure that we get the other guys open as well.
What was your take on the overturn on the pass reception?
Well, I couldn't see it, so I just have to go by what the refs say.
Other questions? All right, in the back.
Just what was your message to the team at halftime after what happened at the end of the first half, and how pleased were you that they came out and responded in the second half after that?
Well, yeah, that one was a gut punch at the end of the half to kind of lose the mojo and then give up a touchdown. Our guys know we're just going to fight as hard as we can for 60 minutes. We're going to play our tail off. We're going to look at the score at the end. We're going to hope that we win. And that's kind of our mantra. When the game's over, we're going to move on and work to improve and try to win the next one. It doesn't matter who we play. I think that, this one hurts because this was a really good football team that we haven't beat here in a long time. And we had it right in our grasp. And we just weren't able to close the deal. So there's a lot to learn about finishing, figuring out ways to get first downs and seal the game up, figuring out ways to not give up a touchdown on the last drive. There's just a lot of things to clean up that happen in a football game, and it happens every year. And every year is a new year, and we were able to correct some things last year, but we've got to correct some things as we move forward now and try to win the next football game.